And I've never had a Can-Am.
We can't find the fuel.
I can't find where to fill it up. Every other one is like literally... This is actually funny, and I'm pretty sure there's people screaming at the screen. It's right there!
There's two of us looking for it. Those of you who own a Can-Am are probably like, you idiots right now, but like, that's not obvious. What's up, Lite Brite Nation?
Hey, what's going on, Lite Brite Nation? The weather is beautiful here in southern Utah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. My husband is also beautiful.
You're beautiful
Even
too.
though I love him so much, I hate him right now.
Oh, okay.
Because yesterday, he disappeared, and he came home with that.
Well, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I did.
For those of you that follow the channel, you already know, we already own that. We own a Polaris RZR Pro R. Kevin came home with the brand new Can-Am Maverick R.
Yeah.
We also have a Yamaha YXZ at home. Why do we have 3 side-by-sides? No reason. You wanna know why? Because we never drive them. Well, I say never. Rarely, maybe a handful of times a year.
They're really fun, but I never really get to drive it.
We're in the Jeep. We're in the big off-road vehicles 99% of the time.
So the Pro R is for sale, but really I want Brittany to drive the Pro R because she doesn't like riding. The reason we don't go out that much is because she doesn't like riding passenger going fast.
I don't like being passenger in a side-by-side.
So now we have 2
I like
fast
driving
ones,
them.
just not the same.
Anyways, he came home with this because the main reason is he thought that it would be the perfect combination between the Pro R and the Yamaha YXZ that we own.
The YXZ 1000 I have is a sequential. It has the shifter and it has a Weller's Racing turbo kit. So it's very explosive. It's very fun. It's a little beast. It's a little rally car, but the suspension sucks. The like everything about it kind of sucks, and it's all stock.
Weirdly, the Yamaha YXZ is, out of all of the things we own, it's probably the vehicle most likely to kill him.
It's the most exhilarating. It really is.
Because he drives it on the edge like you would a rally car. We also have the Pro R, which is just a Cadillac of side-by-sides.
It's a beast of a side-by-side.
Yeah.
But it's a 4-cylinder. It's not very punchy. It does go fast. It does do, but it's so good at what it does that it doesn't get fun until you get up to like 70, 80 miles an hour. And then if you mess up, it's big consequences.
Yep.
The YXZ is very fun between 20 and 50 miles an hour.
Yep.
Above that, it just beats the crap out of you.
So,
this thing is turboed, 240 horsepower with a DCT transmission. So it's got a 7-speed.
That's the most important thing for him.
Oh, I freaking hate belt drive. I hate CVTs.
Yep.
The CVTs in normal and all other side-by-sides basically, besides the YXZ, sucks.
Today, as you can see, as Kevin said, is a beautiful day down in southern Utah. We're at Sand Hollow State Park, and we're gonna go drive these. This is the first time this thing has touched sand. We haven't taken it off pavement yet, so we're gonna see how it does. But first things first, before we get into our initial thoughts on this thing and actually go do some action stuff, this morning was really interesting. What are we doing?
So I've never owned a Can-Am. I sat in old X3s and they kind of sit down and back, and I've just never liked them. I've never really liked many side-by-side until we got like the Pro R.
Yeah.
I do like the Turbo YXZ. It is the most fun, but it's so archaic as far as suspension goes. So anyway, we finally got the new X3 and I want to go load it up, but we only have a half tank of fuel, so I need to fill it up. And I've never had a Can-Am.
We can't find the fuel.
I can't find where to fill it up. Every other one is like literally, the Pro R is right here. The YXZ, you open the door, I think, and it's like right there. I mean, I'm looking at like, obvious places, like very...
We're looking inside little tabby guys. It's here, clearly it has to be, but it's not as obvious, I suppose, as we thought it would be.
Like maybe it's behind this panel that doesn't fit anyway.
Surely you don't have to take an entire panel off just to fill it up. I can't find this. Fill up.
Surely, no, it's not in there.
No.
This is actually funny, and I'm pretty sure there's people screaming at the screen. It's right there.
There's 2 of us looking for it.
Oh my god.
Is it on this one where the latch is broken?
No, that's computer stuff. So
Okay.
yeah. All right, let me sit back for a second. It was like the same thing as trying to fill up this thing. I couldn't find the fuel. I went all around. I finally found it right here. And you have to like turn a key you have to have the key to get it.
I promise you, we're looking. Those of you who own a Can-Am are probably like, you idiots right now, but like, it's not obvious.
Am I gonna have to Google how to fill up a Can-Am?
We gotta Google.
It's gotta be something. Okay. All right, we can't be this dumb.
I mean,
wow,
we absolutely can be.
This thing is sick. Look at all the fans back here for coolant. Okay, there's a coolant.
I say try to just
yeah, I'm gonna find the fuel. Yeah.
Lines.
There's the engine. Maybe this one didn't come with a fuel tank. Maybe it just runs off of hopes and dreams. What do I type in?
Just how to put gas in a Can-Am.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. There's not even a search for it.
There's really, honestly, no way. There's no way you have to take off. I've really thought I had it with this, but it's not. So we've called in backup. Chris, we need your help. We need you to find how to fill this thing up with gas.
How to fuel it?
Yeah.
Cup holder right
You know, just pour fuel on it and light it on fire?
I don't even have to push the button to open that. That one latch is already broken. The dash doesn't fit anywhere, like it doesn't. Hopefully the engine and trans.
It's like a Tesla.
Terrible fit and finish, but fast and well.
Yes.
Teslas aren't fun. This is fun. I know where it's at.
Shake it. Where's the gas tank?
We don't know. We were trying to figure it out, but we think it's up underneath. We tried Googling it though. We actually did that and couldn't find anything.
Read the instruction manual, but to find a filler neck for real. Have driver and passenger get out of vehicle. Was it in that one?
Bam!
Found it.
Jesus Christ.
Why does this show?
The owner's manual.
Oh no,
Well,
that is the front.
Oh,
yeah,
I see.
look,
Yeah,
there's the
look,
knuckle.
there's
It is
not.
right there.
Okay.
Okay, but that does not. What is this? That does look like the rear of the vehicle, doesn't it?
It totally does.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have.
For anyone who was wondering and was too prideful to do what we just did live on video on YouTube.
Look, that's the
There's
thing
your
about
clue.
us. I have no,
No shame.
I know, there's no shame. Like people are, things happen, stuff
I think we
happens
should
like that.
strip this thing down and just put an aluminum body on it.
Probably should. All these panels are garbage.
I don't want to get hit in the face with one. Just so it has a Ford, big screen in the middle. It's got a BMW grill, fit and finish of a Tesla. Seats out of a Lambo. Those are neat.
Yeah.
Lambo seats.
Steering wheel out of like a Lambo or something.
Yeah. Steering wheel out of a Lambo.
There's definitely a lot of cons with this, but there are definitely some
Supposedly
pros.
it's fast.
Yeah, there's a lot of pros and cons.
Super cool. So it's kind of, I've only got to drive it a little bit, but yeah, it just kind of has a little bit of lag, and then it punches. It punches hard. We're gonna go have some fun in it. Okay, so both side by sides were successfully filled up with fuel. We figured it out. We got it. Chris kind of figured it out. Anyway, this thing really is as good as people are saying it is mechanically so far, and I have like 5 miles on it, right? Just getting up here. The first things that you notice, and these things are the same price. These things are both about $50,000, and I gotta say, we're not directly comparing them. Like we're not gonna do a drag race and stuff because this has got 35s. I put 35 Nittos on it. So, and this has 32s. This does come with 32s, but I'm not gonna swap 32s in just to do like drag races and stuff. This one is faster and it's a lot more fun. Honestly, the DCT over the CVT, having actual 7-speed gears makes the driving like so much better. But the first thing I noticed with the Can-Am yesterday when I was getting it was, I guess this is a Can-Am thing, the fit and finish is absolutely atrocious.
It's garbage.
It is so garbage.
For $50,000 anything.
People are saying, well, that's just Can-Am. I'm hoping
That's
that,
not an excuse.
I know, I'm hoping the engine, the transmission, the steering, the brakes, and all that stuff is all above par and all as good as it's supposed to be and makes up for it. But like none of the panels fit. The latch on this top one's already broken. This is and don't get me wrong, the dealership did get me new stuff, like
as far as this, like the broken.
They got me a new hood because this was either damaged in shipping or something. So like the dealership's gonna order me new parts.
They're making it right.
But it's brand new. Look at the glove box. It doesn't even, I don't even have to like push the button to open it. It's just that the dash doesn't fit. I will say the cockpit of this, you sit in it, the steering wheel, the gauges, the new center screen, all that's really cool and it feels really good. The RZR shifter is just a old school lever. This is actually electronic. So if you look, really nice gauge, center here, all the buttons down here, very nice. So like this section is very nice. Like the paddles, the steering wheel, the gauges here, all the new like electronics, so park and low, and you can shift into low while you're moving. You can't shift into low in a RZR while you're moving. You'll like blow it up. This whole area is nice.
This is really nice.
It's just this, it's all the other, it's all the other things that don't fit.
This right here, which we already showed, like the gap here versus like everything is.
The only thing that's nicer, I will say, is the doors. So this is the first time I think Can-Am's done a full door, and it does shut nicely and solidly. Where this one, like if you don't, like you have to like really. So this door's a more, yeah. So like if you kind of just shut it, you have to.
There you go.
Yeah, versus this one. This
so
one's
as far
actually.
as fit and finish goes.
The door.
That's the only thing we like more on the Can-Am.
That's it. And since all these other sponsor people, they're not wanting to talk about all the little things, and
we
they're trying
bought this. We bought this.
Yeah, we always.
I just want to make that clear.
Yeah. So now I didn't I didn't go with the smart shocks on this, and this does have the Fox live valve. You can kind of compare them because these are still internal bypass coilovers, but they're not live valve. They're not the smart. They called it smart shocks on this and live valve on this.
But we did that for a reason, which we'll get into
that later. But they are adjustable manually. Generally, the RZRs have the better visibility. They sit higher, sit in the cockpit higher, and you can see better. In the Maverick or the Can-Ams, you generally sit down and back.
Which is why we've never owned one.
Yeah, because I'm kind of short and I didn't like it. This one is amazing. If you look at the seat and the dash, you don't have anything like in your way. You can see out. Where if you look at this seat, and this dash and hood, everything kind of builds up. Everything in this is down low. All your gauges and your dash and everything's down low. So actually I like driving this already better. I like sitting in it and like the visibility that I have. What else do we go to?
The sands, the dunes. Let's go have fun.
Okay, let's do that. This last time I came around, it beeped at me really loud and it said check smart lock and it threw a caution sign. I don't know what smart lock is. I would assume that's the rear diff. And I'm not landing on power. I'm coming off and I'm letting go and I'm not.
Yeah, you can tell, you can hear it.
Yeah, so some people don't know that, like, you want to stay on the gas in the air to keep your nose up, but you want to come off the throttle before you land so you don't shock load everything. It feels great. I know it feels a lot bigger of a jump in here because we're in the air for so long, but I know we're not high.
It's not a high jump, but it's a long jump.
Yeah. No, it feels good. It is way more explosive than that thing. Like, it's very, very fun and explosive. The ride isn't as nice. Like when you have that in comfort or in whatever, it just eats everything up.
I do, part of me, just for the sake of feeling the difference, I do wish we'd had
the smart shocks on this.
There's smart shocks on this, just to compare to the live valve. But we already knew the suspension wouldn't be as good.
Well, they're still internal bypass, and they're still. I mean, we could probably tune them by changing stuff on here, but the land feels great. But it's a good gradual landing. It feels good. I really like it. Should we look at it or should we just drive it?
Just keep driving it.
It says check smart lock. What am I gonna check?
I don't know. Just keep driving it.
Let's keep going. You want to go hit the whoops?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna have him run through all of this again, but in the Pro R this time. Now again, this is not a direct comparison, at least when it comes to speed or suspension, because again, we didn't get the smart shocks on the Can-Am, and the RZR has 35-inch tires instead of its factory tires. So there's really no way to accurately compare those two things, but it is cool just to see the difference between the two vehicles going through stuff like this.
All right, so just running those both through the same whoops right here, which is the fence line. There's some little stuff, there's some bigger stuff, and I don't want to say it, but I would say the Pro R, I feel like I can go way faster through it. Under power, I do like the responsiveness of the high compression 4-cylinder, and the brakes in this thing are hands down. Now I know Can-Am just put bigger brakes on this, but the braking is way better. Yeah, so this has the live valve, like we said. That doesn't have the live valve. Biggest thing is I can change this, like, so when I go through that, I'm in Baja mode. But if I see a big whoop, I can hit the G out button. And so, like, if I know I'm gonna, like, oh crap, that's a lot, I can hit the G out button right on the steering wheel. On that, we're just set to whatever. Yeah. We're just set to whatever it's tuned at. You can't really do anything there.
But obviously, if we had the smart shocks on that, we would get a lot more capability similar to what we have with the live valve.
The biggest thing is that you can go from a really choppy, crappy stuff and put it in comfort mode, and this will eat all of that up. Or you can hit big stuff or big jumps or whatever, and you can change the suspension yourself. With obviously just internal bypasses, we have to have it tuned. That's not tuned. That's tuned right from Can-Am. Who knows whose butt is telling them what to do. And if it's anybody that has to do with the fit and finish of it, then obviously
you know.
No, I know, but I will say I enjoy driving that more. That one's more fun. It feels more nimble. It feels lighter, even though it's not. That is heavier. The Can-Am is heavier, but it feels more lively and tossable, where this feels and the suspension just feels to move. Like I hit some berms over here turning around, and that kind of just hits it and goes over. Where this we hit and it actually like stopped me and pushed me back, and I had to reverse. And I do like the driving of that better.
Now the caveat to that as well is that you have to keep in mind Kevin likes
Punchy and scary, sort of.
Yes, for a lot of people, if you're not like a race car driver like Kevin is, if you want something that will do everything really well and comfortably and almost make the crazy stuff seem simple, that's what this is. Kevin doesn't like that. Kevin wants it to feel
Dangerous,
crazy and dangerous, and extra fun. Like he likes kind of riding that edge.
Although I like where the dead pedal is at in that, and the brake pedal is at. It sit better in this one. As you can see, they give you a super big brake pedal so you can 2-foot. So you have gas pedal, big brake pedal, and then the dead pedal here where you rest your foot, I just like where it's at a little bit more than where the Polaris is at. My leg kind of goes numb, or my foot kind of goes numb in the RZR after a little while. Now you can see in the Polaris, they give you a tiny brake pedal. It's a little harder to 2-foot drive that way. I don't know. There's just ergonomically, it's a little, and I don't have that much time in that, but I can tell when I'm sitting. And also I think the seat, I don't know if it's a seat position. It's just more cradly. It's more zero gravity. I don't know. I don't know what it is. They look like they're both the same seats. But one thing that is different is the seat belts. So in the Pro R, you actually have like a sort of a 6-point harness, right? So you have this that goes on your leg, this that goes around your lap, and then of course your shoulder strap. The Can-Am doesn't have this forward one. It's just your lap belt and this.
But this is nice when you're doing really high speed stuff because it really keeps you planted and you feel way more secure.
You do feel quite a bit more secure in the seat belts in this. They pull out.
That's what she said.
But they're quite a bit harder to pull on. So when you're there, like if you want to lean forward or if it's throwing you forward, there's more force. The Can-Am just like, so I don't mind it because I have the steering wheel, but I think as a passenger, especially if you're smaller and you're getting kind of thrown around, this isn't holding you back. Now it will lock, like they both lock.
Yeah.
But the Pro R, this doesn't.
It's unlocked. It feels
even
more
unlocked.
secure.
It's very like hard. You know, it kind of keeps you there. Now 3 huge pet peeves already on this Can-Am is that for the same price as the Pro R, they're both 50 grand. Right? Like after tax and assembly and shipping and all that freight, they're both 50 grand. In the Can-Am, there's no radio, which that has a Rockford Fosgate, like pretty decent, like
radio.
pretty loud radio. There's no nav in this, where
no navigation.
Where Can-Am people know that Polaris has been working on their nav for a long time, and the nav in that is amazing. There is every trail you can think of. There's trails on there that actually don't even exist. You pull up, you're like, is that a trail? Oh no, it's not.
We honestly wish that the navigation in the RZR we could use over almost any other navigation system we use.
Well, you can't actually have an app that has
that's
it all.
what I'm saying. I wish it had an app.
So the way Can-Am does it is you have to download the Can-Am some app, and then you have to plug your phone in and put it inside that center console, and then I don't know. And then the other thing is I'm trying to push on the screen and do things, and it's just like, oh sorry, you can't be moving. Where the RZR lets you do whatever, because like, what if we are racing? What if I tell my co-pilot, hey, I need this, or get me this info, or whatever? It doesn't matter. Why won't you let me push buttons on the freaking screen while I'm driving? I have to come to a stop to change gauges or whatever.
It's like a regular car, which I get it for on highway safety, but we're not on a highway.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not like we're around traffic.
So I feel like the RZR really has it more together. They've really tried in the Can-Am, and it's come a long way. But again, I'm gonna pick this for fun. Also, one other thing, I haven't been able to find it yet, and I'll look in the manual, or you can tell me if I'm wrong. This just gives me dummy bar gauge for the temperature. I want the actual number temperature. I want to know if it's 212 or 230 or 240 degrees. I don't care about the bar. The RZR is easy to get to that. We had the guys at the dealer, even though this is like the first one they had, we were going through pushing it. We couldn't find it. Now I'll look in the manual and I'll see. But if they don't give you your actual temperature on a turbo car, give me a boost gauge. It's turbo. It's fun to look at a boost gauge, like, and also you know, it's just why? It's all available. I know it's all in the ECU.
Yeah.
Give it to me on the screen. And this, folks, is why Polaris or Can-Am or nobody will ever like either. I don't care about sponsoring us. Will ever either like even invite us to any of this stuff, because I'm not gonna ever sugarcoat stuff for you. I'm not gonna be like, oh, don't worry about that little trim piece. This is a pre-production. It'll be fixed on the production model. Just buy it. Don't worry about.
No, I'm not. This is why a couple companies have invited us to things, but this is why we never get an invite back. is because we're honest. Like we speak our mind. We don't, like Kevin said, we don't sugarcoat stuff. We like what we like. We don't like what we don't like.
Even big media channels know that they have to walk a line. They have to do it. There's a code or something, right? Where they have to be, nice about it. Where I'm just giving you the brutest honest truth and everything I find. Oh, the fuel. That's super easy to find, right? It's right there on the RZR. But I will say, every time you fill up, it freaking spits at you. And today, when I finally found the fuel on this, it didn't spit at me, and I purposely held it in there and held full throttle on it to see, and it didn't spit back at me. And one other thing I found, Can-Am comes with a recovery point up front, and it's already built into the bulkhead to be able to put a winch. Like, this is already a bulkhead plate. I'm pretty sure you could, I can see where the fairlead and the winch can go in here. RZR doesn't give you that. I don't know if Can-Am just thinks that you're gonna get stuck and or break down, and Polaris is like, you're not gonna need it. I don't know, but I do like that fact that I don't have to buy anything extra other than the winch. But then Can-Am, 16-inch wheels?
I know.
Nobody makes 16-inch tires. Come on.
So if you want to swap to different tires, because supposedly they can fit 35s, but if you want to, you have to buy different wheels because no one makes a.
So you're gonna spend 50 grand on this machine, and now I've got to go spend 2 to 3 grand or more on 15-inch wheels, and then to put other tires on it. You're trying to lock me into these ITPs, which whatever. But if I want to stick 33 or 35-inch Nittos on it, you can't even argue with me. Every race car driver for Can-Am right now all has custom or one of the wheel companies already made them 15-inch beadlocks so they can run 33s or 35s or whatever. Yep. I don't know what tire size they're running.
None of them are
none of them are running this. And these are pretty cool looking forged wheels.
Yeah, no, they're sick, but why didn't you make them in a different size?
You know what they said?
Don't have to change the wheel.
You know what they said? So they can clear their bigger brakes. Although the 15s clear the brakes.
Clearly, because people are running 15s that do clear the brakes.
What the? That's dumb. And then and now it's also 6 lug, 6 on 139.7 or something, which means every wheel company now has to make a wheel specifically just for this 6 lug. Where I know they just came out with this 5 lug, but 5 lugs been 5 lugs on other stuff. Most side by sides are 4 lug. This is the first unit bearing 5 lug, but it was super easy I didn't get wheels for it because I feel like I don't need them.
But you can find them, they exist.
But I didn't want to get wheels for this. I think this looks, I love that design. I think it looks sick, but you're trying to lock me into this tire. Now, it sounds like I'm complaining about everything. The good stuff is good stuff, and everybody's gonna know what the good stuff is. But for some reason, people don't want to talk about all the bad stuff. So I'm not really complaining about all this. People don't want to talk about
the bad stuff because they're sponsored and they can't talk about it.
Well, no, there's even people that aren't sponsored, or maybe they want to be invited to these things in the future. I really don't care about being invited to the
Talking bad about companies is a good way to not get yourself invited in the future.
Yeah, but it's fine. I'm not talking bad about the
companies, but
these are a lot
honest reviews.
Yeah, there's a lot. So I'm not. People will be like, "Oh God, all you're doing is complaining about it. Just enjoy it." Yeah, I am. I'm gonna go drive it and enjoy it. I actually really, really like it.
Well, you've already said that you would pick it for more fun.
I would, but we're gonna go rip around and have some fun.
We're gonna do more fun now.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna see if I can get any more air than Kevin did in the Can-Am and the Pro R.
Nice!
She jumped that spot. She jumped that first one.
I was gonna say my helmet hair right now. I'm getting tangled, and then I looked at Kevin's hair.
If you ever get the chance to ever come out to Sand Hollow, look up on the maps bobsled. If you're in a side-by-side. I mean, you can do it in a Jeep too.
Even in a Jeep, a Jeep with really well set up suspension, it's really
Look
fun
up
too.
bobsled.
Yeah.
Bobsled, write that bobsled.
Yeah.
It's out on the west side of the park, not too far from like the water towers. I guess, well, it's kind of hard to get up that way. Anyway, look it up on the maps. It's on the on the Polaris map. It's not on this map because this one doesn't have a map.
Because it doesn't have a map. And a side-by-side, it is probably our favorite little stretch to run.
Yeah, it's not very long, but it's just these big jumps and banks that it's really fast.
I am going to have Bree attempt to film it.
I've got this. I have absolutely no faith in me.
We'll see how it goes.
Compared to the Pro R, I was getting beat up on the choppy stuff, on like this. Can you?
Yeah.
So where there's these rocks that are really sharp.
Yeah.
So what I did is I just got in the toolkit and I took the high speed compression and I took all the high speed compression out.
Again, live valve. Doesn't have the smart shocks. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
It doesn't have the smart shocks, but they are still bypasses. And if you were to properly tune them,
They'd probably be fine.
they'd probably be fantastic.
So I just took all the high speed, because high speed is going to be like hitting a curve, hitting a sharp rock. Low speed is going to be your whoops and your jumps and whatever. So low speed feels pretty good. I did blow through them, so I might need to up the low speed compression a little bit, because there was a couple times where I did hit
Came
bottom.
through.
It wasn't hard, but it was enough that it's like, oh, I need a
Noticed.
little bit more in there. So, but anyway, we're going to go run bobsled. This thing is super fun. I should have wore boots because my toes are cramped from pushing the pedal all day.
From 2 foot in the whole
But I
time.
will tell you, it's really cool to have both these machines. I'm always kind of scared in this, dropping off of big rocks and ledges. I don't know why. I think it's 'cause you sit. It's weird. But in the Can-Am, I was just like, oh, look at that. And I just like, for some reason, I have more confidence in it.
It feels more nimble.
Even though it's heavier.
Yeah, that's weird.
Look at these.
Anyways, bobsled. And that's, I mean,
Yeah, they're both really great. I don't think they're 50 grand great. I think
neither one of them, honestly. They're both incredible machines.
Yeah.
And maybe they're worth 50 grand because you can't get anything quite, like, you're not going to build something like that for 50 grand.
Yeah.
But I still feel like, I mean, in all honesty,
I think
for
like
50,
40 grand for like what we're selling it for is probably about right. That's what we're selling this one for.
Why
is
are you
40.
selling the Pro R? I thought that was mine now.
Oh, well, I guess are we keeping it?
I thought we were selling the YXZ. Are we selling the Pro R or the YXZ?
We could sell the YXZ.
Anyways,
The YXZ will only be like 18.
we absolutely do not need 3 side-by-sides. Honestly, we probably don't even need 2, but
Yeah,
we'll
because
probably
you don't like
keep
riding.
2.
You don't like riding passenger.
I hate riding passenger. I like driving.
Right.
Because
So
I'm
there
a
you
better
go.
driver anyways.
You looked like you had fun today.
I did. I like the Pro R more. But I also have
You haven't even ridden in the Can-Am
slightly, I haven't, but just from what you're saying, because I know how I feel about the YXZ, I have slightly less of a death wish than Kevin does. Not like by much, but a little bit. Anyways, no vehicle is perfect. we have something to complain about on all of our vehicles. However, the ones we have all because there's little things here and there doesn't mean that they're not still incredible machines.
Yeah, I love them both. I'm just giving you this so you can decide what you want to do.
Yeah.
I would say right now, you're just gonna pick whatever one. Like you're probably having an affinity for one versus the other, right? Like you probably, I'll never own a Can-Am. Great, get the Pro R. If this is the caliber machine you're looking
Polaris, get a Can-Am.
Yeah. Other than that, you really can't go wrong.
They all have cult followings, I guess, just like Jeeps and Broncos. Guys, anyways, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Remember to find all your Lite Brite Nation merch and decals at litebritstudios.com. As always, we love you, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.